Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sensei. Say what now? I'm your host, Nastasha Sensei, and today we are going to talk about. Actually, don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I have the first story here. It's not heavy. It's not like the last couple episodes. It's not like super heavy or triggering or anything. But it's interesting to say the least. So why don't we just get into it? Let's get started. Nose dive in there right now. All right, so the first story is from r/Japan Life, and it's called Being Told You're Not Like the Other Foreigners by a Japanese friend pissed me off. Honestly, that's giving like a white American calling a black American, not calling, but telling a black American, you're not like other black people. And it's like, what the fuck does that supposed to mean? That's what this title is giving. That I'm pretty sure that's what the story is like a reflection of that. I digress. So let's get into it. OP says, I was hanging out with my Japanese friend's family. I was invited to their house for dinner. And the topic of someone getting stabbed the other day came up. And the first thing she said was something, Gai Kokujin. Maybe like, was it a Gai Kokujin? Because it's in Japanese. As in, oh, she literally translated it. Was it a foreigner who did it? Oh, my reading skills are pretty good. Context clues, check one. Anyways, so she asked, was it a foreigner who did it? Like, I was so shocked she said that, and she could see that I was disgusted by her comment, and she said, I don't mean you. You're one of the good ones. You're basically Japanese. As if that was a compliment, because it's not a compliment. It's literally a backhanded compliment. In fact, the criminal was a Japanese middle-aged dude, and the one who stopped the guy and pinned him down was 3 foreigners from Nepal. Wow, we got foreigners to come and save the day. This isn't the first time I've heard Japanese people talk like that, but hearing it come from a longtime friend makes my blood boil. I knew that she was a frog in a well because of how she grew up, but I always thought that she didn't mean any harm by it and was just ignorant. But if you keep on being ignorant at your big age, it'll lead you astray one day. Edit, I'm not white nor am I American. I'm Southeast Asian. I don't see why it matters. Oh, some people were probably like me, like with the whole American white and American black BS, not versus. Anyways, in my brain still so scrambled. It's early today, so people are probably commenting like that. So we do got some comments here, which. Before we get into the comments, my 2 cents on this, not surprised, but also when this OP said she's like a frog in a well, that makes sense. Like, her worldview is so limited. And again, that's kind of why it's easily to reflect to the American experience, black versus white experience, is that a lot of white people do say, you're not like other black people when it comes to like the stereotypes of black people. Which these stereotypes were created by white people, ironically, and they're the ones to say it, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Ooh, child, I am sweating. I got all my windows closed. It's practically summertime right now, but I had to close my windows because the wind is winding today, which I love because the breeze feels so good, but it's just too much for this podcast. Anyways, to the comments. Top comment, that was racist. Oh, that's what racist people always say. That's what the racists in America say too, about the black or Hispanic or Asian insert non-WASP group, WASP. I think that's like white Anglo-Saxon person. People they are on friendly terms with while ranting about their failings of their race. Yeah. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, someone says, what is WASP? And they said white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Oh, okay. i.e. the default white person in the mind of some. Yeah, I want to argue that it's not like they're racist. They could, okay, I'm not gonna even speak about people who are racist and who are not racist, because that's just not my place. That's not my place. But that's top comment for a reason. That's not to say that OP's friend is racist inherently. Like, they just subconsciously, again, frog in a whale mindset, subconsciously they're just being ignorant AF. And when it comes to Japanese racism, it's very diet. It's like a diet soda. So it's there, and it's still too much of it is not good for you, but it's not like the American racism. So I digress. Someone else commented, a friend of mine who has been teaching the same group of old people for like 10 years were talking about how to raise the birth rate. And one of them said immigrants can come to the country, but I don't want them having children with Japanese people because half Japanese people will never be a real Japanese. Am I surprised by that nasty comment? No, because that's a lot of sentiment that let me not say a lot of Japanese people, because I haven't spoken to a lot of Japanese people, but from my understanding, the anti-foreigner sentiment has risen since the new prime minister has been elected, and she just been all up under Trump booty hole. So that's not surprising right there. I'm not at all surprised. So yeah, they said the half Japanese person will never be real Japanese to my friend, who is Canadian, who they know has a Japanese wife and kids with, and they did the same, but even after all these years was surprised because they said it almost reflexively without thinking about who they were talking to. Same thing. Oh, but I didn't mean you. Yeah, okay, maybe it is inherent. It is inherent. It's inherent because they don't. So they know. So, well, if it's subconsciously, they don't know consciously. I digress. Someone replied to this comment. Don't want brown or black or Indian or other race but white. I know because so many Japanese exclude white from bad foreigner, and it's so annoying, especially when they excuse Hafu kids as, oh, they're beautiful because they're half white. Ugh. That's almost like some black people saying, no, let me not even say some black people. That's almost like some Americans saying, oh, you're so, like, if you're half black, half, or let's say half something else. It's almost like the half black is kind of like dismissed, and you're only pretty because you're mixed with like the other half. You're like, you got good hair, like a mixed person with air quote good hair because of the white side, or the other side. The black is always like put on a back burner, which is fucking crazy because, you know, black is fucking beautiful too. But yeah, that's giving the same sentiment. So the comment said, what's wrong with being half brown or half black or half Indian? But no, they just want half white kids. It's annoying and gross, honestly. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. It's pretty nasty. I don't get it. So somebody else said, as a South Asian, I can confirm this. I guess that's also the thing, is that I'm not Asian. I am a Black American with a Black American lens. So hearing this perspective is very interesting to me. Continues, some people ask if my girlfriend is Japanese. When I say no, she's not. She's from the Philippines. Some immediately said, oh, that's good. Your kids will look the same. Huh? What is that even supposed to mean? They will look the same. What? Ugh, gross. In my mind, I'm like, did you just mean if I had kids with a Japanese citizen, my kids would be brown and it's bad? Well, joke's on them. My girlfriend is white as hell. Her ancestors are Spanish. Even my friend in Kyoto married to a Japanese citizen. Had to change their pediatrician because the doctor didn't even like to touch the kid. Okay, now that's just blatantly racist right there. Like, how is this? Medical racism is a thing. It's a thing. And I didn't even realize it affected people outside of Black women and Black people in America. Again, this American lens. I feel so trapped, but I can't help it because that's my perspective. So they continued, not all Japanese people are like this, but some are racist as fuck. How unfortunate is that? How unfortunate is that? So someone says, unless the children become famous and then all of a sudden they become full Japanese. Ooh. Insert Naomi Osaka. I love her. She's adorable. And she's like a phenomenal tennis player. So someone responds, as a basketball fan, this is too accurate. Dang. You know, as long as they can entertain, shuck and jive, that's all that matters. And this is a pretty interesting comment. Some people said, people will always fear people that don't look like them or things that they are not familiar with. There's definitely some heavy bias involved, but it's often quite the opposite when you look into the factual data and or information. I'm not going to go as far to call your Japanese friend racist, but because I think there is nuance to this. Some people hold prejudices due to hate, while others may be more influenced by a lack of understanding or, as you describe, ignorance. I don't think these two groups of people should be lumped together in the same manner. Yeah, I think the word nuance is what I was looking for earlier when I was talking about this person. Like, they didn't give off racist, they just gave off, like, just willful ignorance. Because it sounds like, pretty sure they're not ready to unpack that. Yeah, someone says, far too nuanced for a comment online. Can I get more extreme comments that overlook the finer details of a situation, please? I want to be angry. That's a pretty funny comment. I don't think saying someone had a racist moment or thought is going too far. After all, racism is just prejudice with a specific focus on race. I don't think calling it out is the same as lumping it as Hitler 2.0. Yeah, also true. Also true. Anyways, that's pretty much the first story. I have nothing else really to say. Is that the friend was ignorant. Hopefully they had a talk. They probably didn't after that. From my understanding, and maybe this is just a stereotype, that a lot of Japanese people are not confrontational. So even if the friend brought it up again, who knows? They might be able to talk it out. I hope so, for their friendship's sake, because that is a conversation that needs to be had. Anyways, I digress. We got another story. And this is also from r/Japan Life. It's called, a first for me this morning. Someone actually refusing to give me my Shinkansen seat. For those of you lovely people who don't know, a Shinkansen is the bullet train in Japan. So, OP says, so I thought I'd share a slightly annoying, but in the end sort of interesting, story that just happened to me about half an hour ago. So like always, I reserved myself a window seat on the Shinkansen, with an empty seat between me and the aisle seat. Let's take, what is going on? Let me take in, what? Okay, this is a typo. It's not my brain. Let me take in the view and hopefully use the empty seat for my bag. When the train comes up and I make my way to the seat, there is a middle-aged businessman sitting there with a laptop plugged in, jacket hanged up, and earphones on. Okay, so the ordinary seat thief. Someone who bought a cheaper, non-reserved seat and sneaks into a reserved cart. It's not the first I've encountered them. Usually, if you mention it's your seat, they apologize profusely and move to another empty seat. At least until the seat's owner shows up and kicks them to another. But this time, the man simply refused to move. I showed him my ticket and told him that the window seat was mine. Instead of moving, he just motioned down to the center seat next to him and said I could sit there. Excuse the hell out of me? The entitlement on this old man. Or did you say middle-aged man? I don't remember. But the title, yeah, middle-aged businessman. Oh, they be the ones that be pissing me off so bad. These middle-aged businessmen, and oh Jesus, I've seen some disgusting behavior from these people. By these people, I mean middle-aged businessmen in Japan. And the first thing that comes to mind is them just spitting on the sidewalk. I've even seen a guy spit in the train station, like on the floor of the train station. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This is disgusting. And the fact that this man is just sitting in her seat and just like, I'm just not gonna get up. This is my seat now. Like, no, the fuck it's not. You didn't pay for this seat. And it's like these type of men be the main one to be like sitting on the women's only train and be just doing stuff like shaking their umbrella like if it's wet in the middle of the station. Just no decorum. No home training. Ugh, so annoying. I digress. OP continues. He needed the outlet to work and he didn't mind me sitting next to him. I mind you sitting in my goddamn seat, okay? Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up now. I don't want you sitting here because I pay for this. What do you mean? I was about to say, are you going to refund me? You're not. You're not. Get up. Ugh, I digress. So LP says, excuse me? Dude, you having to sit next to my foreign ass is not the problem here. I looked down to the young man who had the aisle seat and he said, oh shit. Look, he had this oh shit look on his face and he wanted nothing to do with this. So I wasn't going to rope him into any drama. Fair enough. She gonna fight her own battle. And I was about to say she should, go and get the attendant at this point. And that's what I don't know. I told the salary, See, me recording this super early in the morning, my brain is not fully awake yet. Anyways, OP continues. I tell the salaryman again, that's my seat. And instead of even saying anything this time, he just gestures back to the center seat and continues clicking away on his laptop. I say for the third time that he needs to move, and now he shouts back for me to just sit somewhere else. As if now I annoyed him to the point that I was no longer allowed to privilege of the center seat. Go get the attendant at this point. Because it's just too many. After he would have shooed me away the first time, that's when I would have went to get the staff. Because you got me fucked up. Like, people have a lot of patience in that regard. Me, I'm not talking to you more than once. I'm not going to ask you more than once. I'm going to get some authority, okay? Going to get some authority. So OP continues, instead of bothering to give myself any more mental stress, I just walked the cabin down, found the ticket checking man, and told him the situation. There we go. We go back together, and the officer asks for the man's ticket. Of course, he had only the cheaper ticket for the non-reserved cart. But even then, he tried to plead his case that I could still sit in the center beside him. Wow, thanks. I'm allowed to sit in the center again. He kept on about the non-reserved cart was full, and there's nowhere to do his work. That the other window, that's not my problem. Insert that song. That's just not my problem. Not my problem. That's just not my problem. Because, again, do I look like Boo Boo the Fool? Get your ass up. Move. My goodness. He kept on about the non-reserved cart was full and there's nowhere to do his work. That the other window seats in the reserved carts were already occupied. As if he had the right to sit at them even if they were empty. After nearly 5 minutes of huffing and puffing, the officer and he began their trip down to the train towards the non-reserved seats. As he should go on. Get away. Get on now, but you didn't pay for this. Go on. Go to where you paid for. Whew. Anyways, OP continues. I'm still not sure what his endgame was. That looking busy and being gruff would just scare someone away from the seat they paid for? Exactly. Surely, even a Japanese person would have called for an officer to kick him out of the seat. I'm about half an hour out from Tokyo now, so not sure if I'll spot the man again, but just thought I'd share the experience while enjoying the view. Moral of the story, screw seat thieves. Exactly. Screw them. Fuck 'em all. Fuck 'em all. Good for her for like standing her ground, or him. Good for them. I don't know. Either he or she. Good for them for standing their ground. So let's get some comments here. The Japanese person wouldn't even have spoken to him, just had the staff kick him off. Oh, yeah. again, that also goes back to what I said not too long ago about the lack of confrontation. As someone who doesn't like confrontation, I totally agree. But I think I probably would have told him first. I would have given him a chance to redeem himself first. Someone said 1,000%. Snitches get seats. Snitches get seats. That's not funny. That's whack. Like, not even once. Not even, hey, are you sure you don't mix up your car seat? And they respond, no. They definitely talk once. But if you face resistance in Japan, the recommended thing to do is find someone in a position of authority and snitch. That snitch word is like, I don't like this snitch word coming up in this context. Because is it snitching if you're getting what is rightfully yours? Like, no, it's not snitching. And it's also, non-black people using AAVE, and it always sounds cringe because it's not used in the right context. And I notice it a lot, especially online. Ugh, I digress. So someone says, I don't know if I'd call it snitching in this case. Here we go, common sense. Give such a bad vibe to it. It'd be a dick move to do it without asking once. But other than that, it's perfectly fine. I don't even think it'd be a dick move to do it without asking once. You pay for this seat. It is rightfully yours. Now, if you don't got the braveness or kahunas to talk first, that doesn't make you like a weak person. You just really, really hate confrontation, or you just have like a lot of social anxiety, which I don't, I get it. Go somewhere else. Not go somewhere else. Go get some help. Find someone else to do it. Do your dirty work for you. So someone says, it's kind of awful how standing up for yourself or somebody else by contacting authority is a bad thing to do. It's not a bad thing to do. People just weird. People just weird. It's not a bad thing to do. So we got like a little thread here. It looks interesting. This is just weird American mentality where they're supposed to put up with bad manners and crime. No, it's my seat. I'm sitting in it. We don't trust the thread. I don't like this thread. Yeah, I don't like this thread. Why did I screenshot that? Okay, moving on, because those comments were weird. They were just getting into some just unfamiliar territory that I'm probably just gonna cut out. All right, so we got one more, and it's also from r/Japan Live regarding the missing kid in Kyoto. Oh, this is actually fairly recent, like last month. Yeah, I screenshot this about a month ago, and it was 8 hours. So the title is regarding the missing kid in Kyoto. There was a missing kid in Kyoto, and I'm going to read this story, and I don't think it's been updated because I haven't been back to check it, but I have the update because I was like keeping up with the story on other sites. Before we get into it, I gotta dab this sweat off my face. All right. So OP says, I've been watching a lot about the new coverage about the boy Yuki who went missing 2 weeks ago. Maybe I watched too much true crime, or maybe I'm just crazy, but in all the footage I have watched so far, there's almost no focus or mention regarding the kid's parents. The timeline claims the dad drove Yuki to school in the morning, but he never showed up. None of the cameras at the school or nearby had any footage of him going towards or away from the school. No one else walking that path say him going either direction. After he was reported missing, they found his backpack in an area that had already been searched before a few days prior. I feel like there should be a lot more people doubting the dad's story about dropping the kid off and looking into him and the mom. It's a sad fact that in the majority of these cases, the perpetrator is a close family member and not some random stranger. True. Maybe the news isn't focusing on the family yet because the police are investigating and want to keep that under wraps, but it feels like a huge piece of the puzzle that is being ignored. Yeah, I'm not familiar with how Japanese media works because I don't have a television. But I did see this story also online. But somebody commented, the police would absolutely have the dad at the top of their list. The news likely does too. but they need to be careful not to paint someone as a murderer when they don't even have evidence that anyone was murdered. True. And someone responds this, seriously, random internet accusations of people are bad enough. If the news gets involved too, the fallout is horrible. Sure, something seems off, but it's not always as obvious as it may seem. Let the police do the work, and even if something still stinks, maybe look into it, but do so carefully. Internet detectives have ruined a lot of people's reputations with false accusations. True, so true. The last thing you want to do if they didn't do it is call them, like, say they did something to the kid, even though I actually think that they did. I digress. I'm not going to say nothing too much right now. This is it. Someone comments this is it. News reporting in Japan isn't as pliable as in America. What they're allowed to report and when is very strictly what they're allowed to report and when is very strictly regulated. They can't just make up stories without the facts. Yeah, that's true. I'm glad they got that. Because America just be putting out some crazy stuff. But someone commented, was a case a few years ago in Hokkaido where father got angry and kicked son out of the car and then drove a bit. Then came back and son was gone, missing for a couple of days. No one believed the father. Kid was found alive a couple of days later after wandering off. Wow. Why would he kick the kid out? Well, they got into an argument, but that's still crazy. You can't just abandon your child like that just because you're angry. Someone says, yeah, police usually don't publicize who they are most suspicious of. And it doesn't really do anyone any good if the media focuses on the parents. Either a parent did it and the attention makes them worry of their actions, or a parent didn't do it and you're needlessly tormenting someone who's already in one of the most mentally torturous situations possible. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do. That's the last thing you want to do. So that was the last comment, and I do have an update. It's not on this thread. It's because I read it on this report online. So maybe like a week later, they found some shoes that were Yuki's, and then a few days later, maybe they found his body. So unfortunately, he did pass away, and he was murdered. And from my understanding, they believe it was the parents. I don't have any more updates after that, but I should look into that, because I am curious as an update, because I low-key forgot about the story. But I think the parents definitely had something to do with it. Why did they kill their child is unbeknownst to me. But, some people that's just such a sad situation. It's like, why have a kid? Well, you don't know if you're going to kill your child, but we don't even know the story, because I was going to say he couldn't have been that bad, but I don't know nothing about these people, so I'm not even going to speculate. But it's just a very sad situation when someone loses their life, especially an innocent child. Because no matter what the kid did, it's never enough for him to be killed. That's barbaric. But I digress. So this last story was a bit heavier than I thought it would be. My bad for the lack of trigger warnings, because I forgot. But yeah, that wraps up today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you all so much for those who have been sticking around. I love you all. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And mite kurite arigatou gozaimasu. Bye.